Hello and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Sherry and today is Wacky Wednesday. So today we're going to be making some beer and bacon beans. And you might be wondering, well, what's so wacky about that? Well, because instead of beer, we're actually going to use root beer. So it's going to be root beer and bacon beans. But before I get started, if this is your first time here, you love food, you love fun, you love wacky recipes, go ahead, hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And be sure to check the description below for details on how subscribing helps to feed the hungry. Okay, so a few weeks ago, I got out my pressure cooker. Maybe you have an Instant Pot. I have a pressure cooker from Pampered Chef that I love. And we did some root beer ribs in here, and they were delicious. And what I ended up serving with it that night was some baked beans and potato salad, I think some garlic bread, and I thought, why not add the root beer to the baked beans next time? So that's what we're gonna do. And one of the things I love about doing it in the pressure cooker is you can do this from dried beans. And normally if you're gonna cook dried beans, you know, you have to soak them overnight or you have to do a quick boil or something like that. And with this, you don't have to do it. And these are gonna be done in under an hour. So the first thing I did was set my pressure cooker to sear. And we're gonna toss in a half of an onion and a half a cup of peppers. So you can use whatever type of pepper you have. Green pepper, whatever it may be. Where is my, I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is, so we'll just use this. All right, then we're also gonna add in a pound of bacon. And so what I'm gonna do is, I'll tell you a little trick. We kind of want this in pieces. So if you toss your bacon in the freezer for just about 30 minutes before you go to put it in here, then you're able to just take your kitchen shears and just cut it into pieces. Just like that. All right, so once we have all of our bacon in there, I'm just gonna give it a stir really quick. And we're gonna let this cook until our fat renders out of there and our bacon is all cooked. Couldn't find the spatula, but that's okay. I got out my mix and chop, which is awesome for breaking up meat. So that's really good. It's gonna help bust up some of this bacon just a little bit, but as you can see, it's almost got like blades on the end of it. So our bacon is done. It just hasn't really crisped up because of the vegetables, so there's a lot of moisture in there. But I'm pretty sure it's done. If it's not, it will be done by the time these beans are done. Okay, so then we are going to add in a little bit of flour. So we just want to soak up a little bit of that bacon grease, and this is going to make our beans nice and thick. I do this when I make chili also, with the ground beef or sausage or whatever I'm putting in my chili. I'll add a little bit of flour to soak up that grease. There's a lot of flavor in that. Then we're gonna add 2 cups of water. And then we're also gonna add in 2 cups of root beer. Whoa, coming over the top. That's okay if we get a little extra in there. Let me get my cup here. So we will measure out a cup or so. So 1 cup and 2 cups. Actually, I think I'm going to add an extra cup in. I'm not quite sure that's going to be enough liquid, so like I said, I just decided to think of this after we ate those ribs a couple weeks ago. So we'll see. I think that should be the right amount of liquid though. Almost looks like a root beer float in there with bacon. All right, so a pound of pinto beans. Or you can use red beans or kidney beans. Just as long as they're dried. So a little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of cumin. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of chili powder. There we go. A couple of teaspoons of brown sugar. And you know, for me, those were like rounded. Rounded. Those were actually tablespoons, by the way. Rounded tablespoons. A couple of tablespoons of Worcestershire. A couple of tablespoons of mustard. A couple of tablespoons of molasses. So we have sorghum molasses here. That might be a little more than, better stop. Sorghum molasses here in Missouri. All right, so 1/3 a cup of barbecue sauce. And I'm just eyeballing this. It doesn't have to be Perfect. And 1/3 cup of ketchup. Uh-oh, I got some. Got some over here. You better wipe that up. And that is it. Now, normally when I use my pressure cooker, I shouldn't say normally, not all the time, but a lot of the times I do a manual release where we hit the button and the steam comes flying out the top. But in this particular recipe, I'm going to set this. I actually have a bean setting on here. If you don't have a bean setting on your pressure cooker, just put it on high pressure for 30 minutes. And at the end, when it's done, instead of pushing the button and letting the steam out or the valve, you're just going to let it sit for about 15 minutes and let it naturally release. All right, so lid on. And these should take about 30 minutes to cook and then about 15 minutes for the pressure to release. And it's not going to let me put the lid on just yet because the pressure from when it was searing, and I forgot to hit cancel, I think, from searing. Okay, so I have to let this cool just a little bit. Then I'll slide the lid on and get my beans cooking. Okay, our beans are done. And like I said, I let the pressure naturally release out of here. And then I even let them sit for about an hour just because I didn't want to burn my tongue. So it's just kind of been sitting on warm here. So hopefully they aren't too hot. No, they're still steaming. Ooh, look at those. I don't know if I smell the root beer or not. All right, let's put some in a bowl. Almost looks like chili. That was a damn good idea. I can definitely taste the root beer in here. And speaking of which, they make a damn good root beer. I think, is that the brand of it? Damn good root beer. I think it's a hard root beer. That's what I'll put in here next time. And I think that would make these even better. Very, very good. I hope you guys will give these a try. And I'm betting you can do these with other sodas. Like maybe a Dr. Pepper or a cola, something like that. So give them a try. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I thank you so much for watching. Bye.